next to us. It was within a minute of his bar, the bar that my dad and my godfather owned, called Frank Warren Saloon. Okay, a juke joint.
Yeah.
Where you can gamble, do everything you want to do in one place. Okay, Friday night spot.
Let's go back to the chitlin circuit.
That's right, chitlin circuit. So, I mean, so the difference between, I guess, up here and down there is where you have these big concrete jungles here in the Northeast.
That's what we call them.
Yeah, big concrete
jungle.
Yeah, they don't have that down south. The only place they have that down south now is in the big city, which is in New Orleans. New Orleans.
That's entertainment.
New Orleans.
For tourists.
Yep. The Magnolia, the Callio, the Malfamine, the Lafitte, the St. Bernard projects, in the Ninth Ward. You have that in certain sections of New Orleans. I mean, the St. Thomas. Those projects are all by Tulane University. Okay.
Speak about Tulane. Tulane, I had the opportunity to know of them. I got a letter from them, but I didn't know what it was. And I was like, Tulane? I left it alone.
Highest quality education you'll receive in both law and medicine, although I'll say LSU is better.
You better. You won't be able to go back home.
But I'll tell you that more kids from the Northeast end up going to law school in Louisiana and also going to med school in Louisiana for Tulane University than, of course, LSU.
How was your first trip going to Tiger Stadium?
Wow. So I played in front of about 2,500 people at Franklin High School.
High school?
In high school. 2,500 people on a Friday night. I walk into a place in Baton Rouge where I'm playing in front of 91,000 people. And
what did it do to you?
It blew my mind. So my first time I run out there is 1979 as a freshman. I'm like, man, this is going to be fun. I guess when I become that player, this is really going to be fun. I probably got 2 snaps in the ball game. We played Southern Cal.
Okay.
We played University of Southern California with Ronnie Lott, Charles White.
Really?
Anthony Munoz.
Charles White, Munoz.
They beat us in the game, 17-12. I think I played 2 snaps in the game, but I was just excited to be able to run out there on the field as an LSU Tiger because, remember, I came from Franklin, Louisiana.
Small town.
A small town. I mean, along the bayou, this was a dream. So, doing that and achieving that. And then we go to a bowl game that year. We play in a Tangerine Bowl. So I not only do I get some money, I get a watch, I get some luggage. Oh yeah, I get some luggage.
You didn't explain that to the kids.
Oh, I didn't explain that.
Whereas this is what they look for in college. All colleges have different levels, but you can achieve these different, I should say, prizes. Or gifts that they give to you for staying the course.
Yeah, so I stayed the course. Unlike now, your goal was to get to a bowl game because the bowl games you got money. You got prestige. You got a better schedule to play the next year. You got some recognition for it. Your team was going to be on TV a couple times. It was great to be on ABC.
And you're part of the team.
And them do your game. Yeah. So that was a big deal for me, man. I knew I wasn't going to get that if I was in the SWAC.
Wait,
I knew that. SWAC, I probably got a ham and cheese sandwich.
I'm a SEAC, man. Be nice.
I know. But I just knew I wasn't going to get that in the SWAC. So I said, geez, I guess I've arrived, and then to spend my 4 years there to get a decent education, to get drafted to come here and play, and to have a chance to go back to LSU as a Hall of Fame football player.
That had to be an achievement in Louisiana State Hall of Fame. How was that? How did you really feel? Because the guy I told you before, Jimmy Cannon, you're now with these guys.
I'm with all of them. I'm with Pistol Pete Maravich. I'm with Billy Cannon. I'm with Shaquille O'Neal.
That's heavy.
Charles Alexander. I'm with all the greats that ever played at Louisiana State University. All the greats that ever represented the state of Louisiana. Terry Bradshaw, Billy Joe Dupree. If you were anything, Carl Malone. The year I got inducted, Carl Malone and Denise Williams were there. Darryl Mitchell.
Yes.
Deceased, the former Met baseball player.
Yes.
He was inducted in the Hall of Fame the same year with me. It tickles my heart for 2 reasons. 1, that I got the recognition, but 2, that my father was alive to see it. My father was alive to see it.
Did your father want you to play football?
My father didn't want me to play football. My father wanted me to swing a hammer. He wanted me to swing a hammer. And I
used to tell him,
man, I ain't going to do it that way. Yeah, I said, man, I ain't doing it that way. I'm going to do it a little bit different. He said, boy, what you talking about? I said, I'm doing it a bit different. I'm telling you, I'm going to make more money in 1 year than you made your whole life.
But I have to say this here. Even though he didn't like it, you come to find out that he was a Cowboy fan?
A Cowboy fan. And was a Cowboy fan my whole career. Cowboy fan my whole career, bro. We played Dallas in Texas. He come there with that stuff on, man. Man, where you going with that stuff on? Where you going? Oh, it's Tom Landry. It's all underneath the hat.
But he pushing you.
He pushed me.
He steady pushing you.
He pushed me, but I used to give it back to him because I was a Steeler man. So I used to give it back to him.
Oh, you was a diehard Steeler.
Oh, diehard Steeler man. Joe Green, Ernie Fatshorn, Jack Lambert, them are my boys.
Wait a minute. Giant Steelers. Then you got Cowboys. That's even on all three sides.
All three sides. And I'm still a Steeler fan.
What?
I am the biggest Steeler fan on the cover you're ever going to meet.
Were you a Steeler fan when you were playing? You serious?
Bill Cowher.
But you played against the bus, though.
I played against the bus under Bill Cowher. I played against Mike Tomlin and the guys that he had. I played against Terry Long, who was the left guard? All of Justice
Webster and all them guys.
All them guys know me, man. All them guys know me, man.
Okay.
Larry Brown, all them guys.
Okay, now we're going to go to the CTE?
Yes.
Speak about that.
Chronic traumatic.
No.
Okay.
From high school now and back then to why you speak of CTE now.
Okay. You sign up to play the game of football. You play the game of football because it becomes a passion. It's a love now.
Explain that in detail.
Okay,
to
it's
the
a
kid.
love. So the game of football.
You're not doing it for the girls.
I'm not doing it for the girls.
Not you, the young kids, the Pop Warners.
Yeah.
Because their parents are pushing them and living through them.
Yeah. I didn't do this because I wanted girls. I didn't do this because I really wanted money. I did this as a way to get out of Louisiana and have a chance to see the world, to explore my options and see who I could become. And it just so happened that when I signed up to play football, I never factored in the impact it could have on my brain after hitting my head so many times, or the collisions involved with the sport. I didn't think of that. Just like you as a boxer never thought about taking a punch, how to respond to a punch, how to avoid a punch, how to not avoid a punch, and do whatever you had to do in the game or in the sport to become one of the best boxers ever to fight. So when I signed up to do it, as I went through it at high school, as I went through it at the collegiate level, and as I went through it as a pro, I never thought of it that way. I just thought of being the best that I could be or possibly become at my position.
But also, El, wasn't that a part of the nostalgia of football per se, or should we say all sports that are contact? You understand that this can happen.
Oh, listen, you're playing.
That's what
first
I want
of all,
to really
it's a gladiator sport, okay? And as a gladiator, your weapon is your head, okay? You lead with your head, you block, you tackle, you defend. You do everything with your head and your hands in football. So you got no head, no hands in football, you're done. Forget it, okay? Forget the leg portion of it. No head, no hands, you're done. So you must develop a technique by which you play with that will enable you to be successful based upon your position. As a defensive lineman playing in a 3-4 defense.
You was a nose or you was a DT?
I was a DE. I played right defensive end. I played to the blind side of everybody's quarterback except the left-handers. And I wanted to become their nightmare. I want you to lose sleep over me knocking your brains out from me coming from the backside and hit you. And I can honestly tell you, look at it. I had over 100 quarterback sacks playing a 3-4 defense. And a 3-4 defensive scheme is a read and react scheme. So just think of it, if I had to play in a scheme where I didn't have to sit there and think. I take off every down. I put my hand on the ground, I go. Every down. I'd have probably had 200 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Ask my teammates, they'll tell you that.
They've changed the game.
The game has changed because I had to sit there and play with a 300-pound tackle, and I had to play in a head-up position. I didn't have a shoulder to play off of. I had to play head up. So I wish I would have had a shoulder to play off of. I wish I could run up the field. I wish I could make an offensive lineman have to move his feet. I mean, and I could make him move his feet with my
Show
head
your little
hand.
point guard skill.
Right, show my point guard skill. There you go. There you go. There you go. Huh? There you go. There you go. I wish I could have did that. But I didn't have that. But so because I didn't have it, I still,
man on man.
Yeah, it still made me say, okay, I got to bring more to my game. I got to bring more to my game. So I developed the techniques to be able to do what I did, but I never factored in, Pooch, that because I sat there in that 3-4 and I had to bang head to head to head with a 300-pounder, you know, some 300 times a game.
Some bigger than you.
Most bigger than me. I mean, Joe
Height
Jacoby.
and
Joe Jacoby
well,
was 6'9".
I'm a hog man.
Right. Joe
I'm
Jacoby,
a hog guy.
And Jake is one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you 4 tackles I played. Joe Jacoby, 6'9", 320. Jackie Slater, 6'7", 340. Anthony Munoz, 6'8", 320.
He's that big?
Jimbo Covert, 6'5", 320.
Mark May.
Mark May, 6'5", 320. Russ Grimm, 6'4", 320.
Yeah.
Nate Newton, 6'3", 320. So I could keep going on and on and on. But yet my 280-pound ass, who bench pressed 550 pounds, squatted 800 pounds, was a man against men, and I did my thing. I did my thing. And I had to do it. I had to do it the way I did it as a roughhouse type because I wanted some respect. And I wanted some respect for that guy sitting on my right shoulder and that guy's playing inside of me. Harry and Lawrence were my greatest motivators. I wanted to fit in with those cats. And together, combined, we were 3 of the baddest.
3-head monster.
The 3 of the baddest mofos you ever want to see in action.
You know, the passion that you speak of the game, the passion you speak of life, the passion you speak of giving back is phenomenal, and I'm pretty sure, I want to get back into your pop. He loved that. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he loved what I'm doing now with the police athletically. He loved that.
They were men's men.
Yes.
My father would be 114. He died 10 years ago, 104. And he was a little guy, a little ex-fighter and all that there. And the thing is, they were men's men because I've been told by my uncle, and it's true, what they went through, we couldn't have went through.
Nah.
You know, you hear the young kids, well, I would have, you might have done it one time. My mother was 6 feet, 285. My father, 5'4", 140. So I had to learn how to, I didn't like, you know, we cracked the dozens. Remember the dozens all day. But if you talk about my mother, the game is off. So Baby Huey, you know, and it's funny how I tell people your best friend is your mother. I read this somewhere, and it said that you might have one other love after that. If your heart is broken, you're never the same.
You're never the same.
That's not your mother.
You're never the same.
That's your love, your infatuation, or whoever she might be. You'll love again, but you won't love like that.
Not that. No. No, I believe you. I believe you.
And that's not putting a damper on love. What it's saying is that's in the good book.
Yeah.
The Quran, the Bible, Torah, any of them, it speaks of your mother, period, dot. Then you have your own love.
Yes.
Now after that, you learn. Because you will learn. As I think the guy KRS say, you will learn. Life will teach you. Life will teach you. It's such a pleasure that we can converse and conversate like this here and bring everyone in, and they feel a part of it because